Hi, this is Sally's Book Club, bringing you the best global books every day. Today we're exploring the book The Architect Tadao Ando, about Japan's world-renowned architect. Despite never attending college, he won Japan's top architecture award right after his debut. He later received the Nobel Prize of Architecture, the Pritzker Architecture Prize. This award was also won by Chinese-American architect I.M. Pei. Many joke he's an uncultured genius. So how did this maverick gain worldwide fame? This book first reveals how a self-taught architect like Ando achieved global recognition. Second, it teaches us how to appreciate this master architect's works. Let's examine Ando's upbringing, where three people profoundly influenced him. First was his grandmother, who raised him and taught self-reliance. Ando was born into an Osaka merchant family. At 2, his mother sent him to live with his grandfather. His grandmother raised him to inherit family businesses.
Post-war Japan left them bankrupt, forcing them into Osaka's slums.
After his grandfather died, his strict grandmother maintained high standards despite poverty. To build self-reliance, she made young Ando walk alone to his tonsil surgery. This strictness shaped his character. By 17, he became a licensed professional boxer, earning money in rings. He might have remained a boxer until his 6th match changed everything.
Facing boxing star Harada Masahiko, he realized his limitations.
Understanding he could never reach that level, he courageously quit boxing. After high school, a chance interior design job opened new horizons. This new world was architecture. Though unable to afford college, his self-taught journey made him a unique architectural master. Before Tadao Ando, 2 Japanese architects had already won architecture's Nobel, Kenjo Tange and Fumihiko Maki, both formally trained. This formal education made them more readily accepted by the architectural establishment. So, how did an outsider like Ando, with no connections or resources, gain international recognition? After discovering architecture, he secretly audited university classes while working odd jobs, collecting architecture textbooks. Though struggling to understand the texts, he attended night school and gradually got small architectural commissions. At 20, he discovered a monograph of Le Corbusier's works. This book finally gave him clear direction. Le Corbusier became Ando's second major influence, his architectural spiritual mentor. This early 20th century icon famously declared, "A house is a machine for living," advocating functionalism through essential living spaces. Simply put, architecture should eliminate ornamentation, revealing structural honesty. Expose structural elements like columns becoming facade. Features fascinated Ando with their raw formalism. He wholeheartedly embraced this philosophy. He obsessively copied Corbusier's blueprints and visited his buildings. Corbusier's influence permeates Ando's later architectural style. To study architecture firsthand, he traveled Japan extensively, then made 2 European journeys, plus trips to Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. This global tour was extraordinary given Japan's limited tourism infrastructure at the time. He quit his job and drained his savings to fund these travels. During his travels, he encountered his third major influence, Che Guevara. Che's iconic image, beret with star-bearded face, gazing skyward at 45 degrees. This image became counterculture, emblem widely printed on shirts. The 1960s Cuban revolutionary who fought Western imperialism, making Cuba socialist. He successfully challenged the world's superpowers and mainstream culture, thus becoming youth icon embraced by punks, hippies, and Ando alike. During his global travels, Tadao Ando witnessed anti-establishment revolutions firsthand in Paris. He joined French youths in protests, even throwing stones during demonstrations. This experience profoundly shaped Ando's lifelong confrontational stance against urban mainstream culture. After his second European journey, Ando launched his architectural comment career. Ando called his team guerrillas, inspired by Che Guevara's revolutionary tactics. From 1969 to present, Ando's guerrillas have fought for 50-plus years, creating iconic works, expanding from Osaka's alleys to global influence. 3 key influences shaped Ando's life. His grandmother instilled independence. Le Corbusier guided architectural philosophy. Che Guevara fueled rebellious spirit. What makes Ando's architecture exceptional? What grants his designs enduring global impact? Consider his career-launching work. The row house in Sumiyoshi, winner of Japan's top architecture award. What makes this building remarkable? Understanding requires examining Japan's 1970s social context during its creation.
Japan faced economic crisis, overcrowding, and shrinking living spaces during this period.
Standard architectural practice became uniform concrete boxes, ignoring resident individuality. The row house's brilliance lies in cost efficiency, harmonized with nature integration. Ando divided space into 3 sections. Front-rear buildings connected by open courtyard via second-floor walkway. While ventilated, the roofless courtyard meant weather exposure, seemingly impractical. Did Ando not realize this discomfort? He knew perfectly well this was intentional. He called the courtyard architectural negative space, integrating nature into living areas. Residents experience sunlight, rain, and seasonal changes, confronting nature's duality. Abandoning comfort to embrace nature's affinity and cultivate urban resilience. How should we appreciate this architecture? First, minimalist geometric design in appearance. This Corbusier-inspired style uses rectangular forms with minimal ornamentation, making the row house resemble a sealed box. Except for the entrance, the facade presents unbroken walls. Second, exposed, bare concrete texture. Untreated surfaces retain raw beauty, seen in Kenzo Tange's Hiroshima Peace Center and J.R.N. Utson's Sydney Opera House. Third, meticulous spatial planning prevents geometric simplicity from becoming monotonous. The central courtyard creates layered spaces and natural integration. Allowing nature indoors creates personalized microcosms for residents. Unique style alone doesn't make a master. What philosophies guide Ando? Core philosophy: combating mainstream urban culture through architecture. His guerrilla team fights efficiency-obsessed urban systems, neglecting human meaning. What systems? Profit-driven. American imitation architecture. These buildings hyperextend Corbusier's functionalism through cost-cutting pragmatism, resulting in uniform urban landscapes with repetitive box structures. While embracing cost efficiency, Ando maintains humanistic considerations. Implementability example. His commercial project, TIMES, meaning time. TIMES was Ando's first Kyoto mall, beside Takasegawa Canal. Ando noticed Kyoto's modern buildings turned their backs to the historic canal. He critiqued Japan's blind adoption of Western urban planning, like inappropriate plaza designs. While Europeans use plazas historically, Japanese prefer midnight diner-style alley gatherings. He designed narrow passages and terraces, mimicking Kyoto's alleyways. However, architects face constraints. TIMES drew 3 criticisms.
First, maintenance concern. Canal integration increased flood risks during heavy rains.
Second requirement: partial embankment removal, which government deemed unprecedented and non-compliant.
Third safety concern. Waterfront lacked railings, raising child, drowning fears.
Ando's design actually calculated water levels to prevent flooding. Government objections were unfounded. Embankment modifications didn't harm public interests. With mere 15 centimeters water depth, drowning risk was negligible. Ando's persistence won approval, prompting reflection on urban rigidity. Ando uses architecture to challenge and renew urban conventions. Another philosophy: integrating traditional elements into modern design, exemplified by his masterpiece, Honpukuji Water Temple, an underground Buddhist hall. Located behind Honpukuji Temple, visitors navigate between concrete walls along white gravel path to Lotus Pond. A submerged staircase at Pond's center leads to the underground temple. Radical departure from traditional wooden temples initially faced monastic opposition. Project salvaged when monk Takebana Daikei endorsed its return to Buddhist origins. The design's wild Indian lotus imagery symbolized universal equality. Ando replaced symbolic power roofs with ground-level pond representing equality and rebirth. Descending between concrete walls, visitors experience gradual disappearance of sunlight. Raw concrete and spatial transitions create spiritual purification through materiality. Screens separate Buddha space from worshippers, maintaining aesthetic distance. West-facing Buddha glows crimson through red windows during morning worship. While unconventional in form, it returns to Buddhism's essence, questioning tradition's core. Book's key takeaways. First, 3 influencers: grandmother's independence, Corbusier's mentorship, Guevara's rebellion. Second, architectural trilogy: geometric forms, exposed concrete, spatial mastery. Core philosophy: challenging urban culture while revitalizing tradition. Use these insights when appreciating Ando's works in Japan. That concludes today's book insights. Keynotes are below the audio. Until tomorrow.